And I am going to be live again on Thursday. So if you missed this one and you're catching it on the replay, give thanks and praise. Just make sure you're subscribed so that you can catch me on Thursday. Thursday evenings feels like a great day for me to go live, like in the daytime and in the evening. Those are like beautiful mornings and evenings, like not afternoons. Yeah. So, God is Queen Jamila here. If this is your first time watching my video, I am a ceremonialist, spiritual life coach, and author, a teacher, professor of women's spirituality and all the things Black feminine. I am a truth teller. I am an author. I am a retreat facilitator. I'm so many different things, but what I am is someone who works with Black women and helping them to heal all the things that are sitting at the foundation of traumas and hurts, wounds, just things that have lodged in and really affected who you've become over time. And there's something I want to talk to you about today because it just kind of dawned on me that there's a lot of enabling swirling around the internet. There's a lot of enabling, there's a lot of excuses made, there's a lot of lack of accountability. And at a certain point, we just got to call a spade a spade. Now, let me start by saying that no matter what stage of your life you're in, if you are a Black woman and you're watching, the only people who can help you are Black women. It has to be said. We have to stop playing around and acting like anybody else. Nobody's coming to save you. Okay. Bottom line, nobody cares. Nobody's out here worried about what you got going on like a Black woman. A Black woman is going to be your highest chance. And no matter what you say, if you say, well, my mom was a Black woman, she did this, my auntie was a Black woman, she did that, my grandma was a Black, it doesn't matter what you say, sis. The bottom line is, out of billions of people in this world, the only people who actually do care about us are other Black women. The only other people who empathize with us, by and large, are Black women. That's it. That's what you should know. And I have to say that because I recognize that we have been steered into lives that have revolved around men. We've been steered to think that men were the main point of it all. And in reality, not so. Because the biggest relationship that you will have in your life is the relationship that you have, number one, with yourself. That's the first primary relationship, the relationship that you have with yourself. And then the other relationships that you have with your support team. And if you have centered men, if you are a Black woman and you've centered men your whole entire life, then I will tell you that you do not have a solid support team. And the reason why is because men come and men go. Men come and men go. You have a relationship in high school, that relationship is not going to last forever. The relationship you have in college, that relationship is not going to last forever. Men come and men go. So the relationship that would serve you most if you are in a reciprocated relationship is the relationship that you build with your sister. That's it. That's the message. The relationship that you as a Black woman build with other Black women, those relationships are going to serve you in dividends. Those relationships are going to serve you in returns if it's a reciprocal relationship. Now, let's talk about these relationships, because some of you all have been in relationships with people who are not in relationships with you. That means that you have entertained people who ain't your friends. You gotta, I mean, I already know the excuses. You're not gonna tell me nothing new. Oh, I was with her, she did that, Sheila did that, they did. Okay, give thanks and praise. We not talking about the people that you enlisted who never liked you in the first place. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about being in a reciprocal relationship with another Black woman who is invested in your success, who is looking at you not as her competition, but looking at you as a mirror reflection to herself, who's looking at you and saying, I want to succeed and I want to see you succeed too. I want to see you at the top. We're here at the top. We're here together. We're going to be here together at the top. That relationship is one that will serve you in dividends and returns from now until forevermore. Reciprocal relationships. Okay? And I am speaking about this as a daughter who recently had to have a conversation with I had to have a conversation with my mother, because my mother had a relationship and she had a person who she called her friend. That person really let her down. That person hurt her feelings. That person accused her of things that she didn't do. And when that happened, it really hurt my mom. It really broke my mom's heart. Imagine you a grown elder, you a Social Security age elder, and my mom brought that subject up recently within the last 2 weeks, and I had to tell her, Mom, listen, that lady wasn't your friend. She wasn't your friend. And imagine you think you building something with somebody for 30 years, but the signs were there all along. That lady was always off. That lady was always jealous of my mom. She always had her own thing going on. She wasn't her friend. And you too old to be entertaining people who really don't like you. It's just, at a certain point, it's a spade. We call it a spade. We move on. You too old to be entertaining people who don't like you. That lady don't like you. And truth be told, your intuition is already telling you you're not vibing with her. She's not your people. It's okay to let people go when you recognize they're not your people. It's okay. It's okay to be like, all right, well, we tried. But if you have someone who is coming and showing up for you, who is here for you, who is showing up, who is saying, sis, I got you, okay, then that means that you have the potential to be in a reciprocal relationship. Because at the end of the day, nobody is going to understand you. No one is going to empathize you. No one is going to completely get where you're coming from like another Black woman. If you're watching the video right now, go ahead and click like. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Goddess Queen Jamila. But yeah, let's go ahead and dig in a little bit. So I want you all to really understand that point, because I think a lot of times we miss it. It goes over our head. Like, there's so many groups that I've been a part of on Facebook, and these groups are random, meaning like anyone can search a Facebook group and anyone can be added to the group. So there's so many Facebook groups that I've been a part of full of women who want to like travel with other women, women saying, I don't have no friends. I don't have no women friends. I don't have nobody I could travel with. I don't have nobody, I don't have no women friends. And you wonder why that is. You don't have no women friends because you done centered men your whole life. I never, listen, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I have never centered men. I've centered myself. Let's be very clear. I am not centering men. I don't have to decenter men at this juncture of my life because I've never centered men in the first place. I've centered myself. Okay? And the women who I've seen who have centered men, these women are not only a nuisance to other women, but they're a danger to other women. These are the type of women who are represented by people like Rashida, who would sit across. Rashida's a reality TV person who sat across the table from an abused woman and told her that she was never abused. That's a nuisance. That's a threat. We don't need those type of women in our circles. Those are the type of women who will leak your location, the shelter that you're staying at to try to get away from the abuse. That's the type of woman who will put your life in jeopardy, who put her own kids in jeopardy. When you hear, okay, this woman, ended up in a precarious situation with her kids, these are the women who center men. These are the women who, because you don't put his needs and his wants and his desires over the safety of your children, you and your children. That came second. What? He said he loved me. He said, so what he said out of his physical mouth didn't trump what he was doing with his actions? Make it make sense. It's psychological. You are under spells, people. You are under spells. And a lot of y'all will not get it because a lot of you all have been in this place of resistance from anything that has to do with the word feminist. If you see the word feminist, you be like, oh yeah, feminist. Child, listen, it's not a threat. It's not a curse word. You'll be all right. Hold on to something. You'll be okay. If you're watching now, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like the video. All right? You'll be okay. It's not a threat. It's not a threat. What it is it's a channel. It's an opportunity to be informed about things that oftentimes are relevant to you too. You too have been influenced. You too have been affected. Whether you claim the terminology or not, whether you're aware of the terminology or not, it doesn't mean you haven't been affected. There are people who have experienced racism but didn't have the vocabulary to identify it as racism. There's people who've experienced sexism but have never had the vocabulary to identify it as such. So this isn't about any of that. This is literally about understanding the danger and the threat that comes along with censoring men. And as a Black woman, you can't afford to do that. You can't afford to do that. You're putting yourself at risk. The only people that you should be censoring, the relationships that you should be censoring, is the relationship with you and the relationship with your sister. Because your sister is going to be the one to support you after you've been kicked by the man that you censored. You censored that person, they kicked you. Now who's coming to assist you in getting up? Your sister. Like, I remember being, in my teens, like late teens, and I had some really wild things happen to me. And I have to talk about this because I think a lot of times you look at me and you take for granted that I'm speaking about these things, teaching about these things, encouraging you to be proactive in this way, to awaken in this way. And you don't know my personal situation, what I've experienced, what I've been through. And you would know if you read the book, because I talk about it a lot in Goddess Awakening, just my experience in being a daughter who was oftentimes mistreated and neglected, being a niece who was mistreated and neglected. There's situations that I've been through that would really cause another person to completely reject the concept of sisterhood or the concept of women being a collective. But one situation in particular stands out, and that is the situation with me and someone who I thought was my friend when I was growing up. Long story short, I had a really good friend, someone who I thought was my friend, and that particular person, like, I don't know what would have caused her to do that, but this person decided to, after I broke up with my ex, she decided to date my ex. And this was when I was probably like maybe 19 years old. I had been in a relationship with him throughout high school, and then we broke up, and then I went on to date someone else and had a baby. And so she decided to date my ex. So when she dated my ex, I was like, wow, that's really egregious and real, like, this is my first love type ex. Like, why would you do that? And so I didn't really know how to feel about it. Again, I felt a lot of different things, but not really knowing how to process it. It was a lot to process as a teenager. And so she dated my ex. Things went awry with my ex. My ex really didn't like her. I don't even know why he dated her in the first place. I don't know if that was like to get back at me, but whatever, fine. Y'all did what y'all did. Let's move on. So there was another guy that she started dating after that. And that particular guy, he was friends with like a lot of the people in my circle, and I kept telling her like, that guy doesn't like you. The guy doesn't like you. Like he's not interested in you. He's not for you at all. And she was really like very upset with me saying that, very like defensive. And I told her, it is what it is. I've always been like this. Like I've always been a straight up direct type person. And she found it hard to digest what I was saying. Fine. It got to a point where she became a little volatile, and I told her, listen, at the end of the day, you want to be aggressive towards me over this dude, don't call me when he hurts your feelings. That's what I told her. I told her straight up, do not call me when he hurts your feelings. Lo and behold, I get a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning. Guess who's calling me crying because her feelings are hurt from the same guy that I told her not to deal with, right? I told you don't deal with that dude. He'll hurt your feelings. And I said, don't call me when your feelings are hurt. But here you are calling me because your feelings are hurt. The same person that you got aggressive towards. All right, fine. So I was there for her as a friend. I showed up for her big time as a friend. Fine. She went on to dating another guy. This guy that she ended up dating, they got pregnant. And when they got pregnant, there was a time where I was driving somewhere, and the place I was driving to, I ended up being behind him. I was picking up someone from the train station. I ended up being behind this guy and realized that he was picking up another girl. Meanwhile, my pregnant friend is at home. Like, so I called my pregnant friend and told her, like, listen, this dude is playing in your face. Like, he's picking up other girls. And baby, that drew the line for her. She proceeded to hang up on me. Then she proceeded to what we would call play on my phone. She proceeded to prank call me for days after that. And I'm like, what in the world? Like, little story. YouTube don't want me to tell y'all the story. YouTube is trying to don't be a hater, YouTube. Don't do that. But the bottom line is that that woman spent so much time centering all these men over her friendship, over this friendship that she probably didn't have no appreciation for. She didn't have reverence